Hello everybody, how you doing? Welcome to the stream. I hope you're doing well. The end of the previous track kind of sounded like the Quake soundtrack. Ah, yes. I need to get that damn booster before it's too late. I don't know about that, Nee. Not necessarily, because I mean, if there's one aspect that absolutely is the most divorced from Quake, it would be the soundtrack, right? It's not like there's a Gold Source engine carrying over. Dude, Chloe, thank you for the 3-month gift sub. Incredible. I think Half-Life's soundtrack tends to go unnoticed because it was it was pretty different for its time. Like, actually, since I brought up the Quake soundtrack I love, but it's a special beast. It's oh god, that little bit right there I've always loved. That little valve stinger. God, that became synonymous with love. I also love the bit that they switched to later when they changed up the little Valve logo-y thing. And it's still a little clip of music from Half-Life, you know? But the Quake soundtrack is sort of atmospheric, but it feels disconnected from what you're experiencing in the game, kind of. It's more abstract. And I think that's because Trent wasn't like a soundtrack maker at the time. Like, that was well before now, where he makes soundtracks. And I think if he were to approach Quake today compared to then, it would have been very different. He would have done it very differently. In fact, it seems like he had a bad experience. Well, I don't know if he had a bad experience with Quake. It's not a very big album, so that might not have been as big of a deal. But I know that part of why he never finished the soundtrack for Doom 3 was, I believe he said that he didn't realize how involved that shit is. So, like, what you may not know was he didn't just do the soundtrack for Quake. He did the soundtrack and design. So he did the gun sounds and, you know, like, all that shit. All the sounds you hear in Quake, I think the majority of them were by Trent. And that was the direction Doom 3 was going as well. And to be honest, back when Doom 3 came out, people got a hold of those files, or they were included with Doom 3, but like just not accessible or something like that. But people made mods that reincorporated the audio work that Trent did into the game, and I liked it better, a lot better. I liked the gun sounds. They felt weightier and deeper, packed a deeper punch. But he bailed out of it because he was like, this is so much work. Which is so funny coming from somebody who was, you know, like a internationally known music star. You know, so somebody whose entire profession is the artistry of sound. Yeah, I have a feeling that partially it's that doing sound design and the fucking soundtrack for a game is too much work for one person. But I also think that the impression I've always had of Trent is that he's like a perfectionist or an obsessor with regards to crafting something. And so that's probably not a great mix. It's like too much work for one person piled on top of someone who's liable to overinvest in things versus efficiently getting everything done. Yeah, exactly. You have to know when to let go and move on and get the shit done. Yeah, exactly. Quake was a bridge to the future that I think it was one particular bridge that Half-Life I feel like was the destination. Like on the other side of that bridge was Half-Life. Obviously there's been many more since then and there were more before. But Half-Life felt more like this is the next step. Quake seemed like maybe it was the next step. In some specifics, it certainly was, like the whole moving the FPS genre forward, fully 3D engine was a massive step. So I'm not deriding Quake at all, but Half-Life was the total package. And I mean, it makes sense because it built on top of Quake. It stood on Quake's shoulders to be what it became. Yo, that's awesome, Walker. Black Mesa is fantastic. I hope you enjoy it. Yeah. It's amazing. Like, the base game took like a decade to build. And it's fantastic. But then they immediately upstage themselves with Zen in a much shorter time. Obviously, Zen is significantly smaller overall, but still very significant on its own. And they went way over the mark in terms of quality, above and beyond. The only thing I didn't like, and I still don't like, is the some of the factory bits, the initial factory bits, where you may recall me talking about how there was almost an amateurish quality of the presentation of it. Like, it just didn't feel like it fit together. It felt a lot like looking at like the way Myst looks, but with today's eyes. Not when Myst was new, but like now. Like that weird sort of artsy abstract fantasy location as opposed to a cohesive fantasy location that feels like it makes sense together. If that makes any sense. Yeah, there's a VR version of Myst. I never fully played the original through. That was one of those ones where I admired it longingly from afar, but I didn't have a computer at home to play it. And those particular games of that era, just like a little handful of computer games that I had witnessed at like a computer lab or a friend's house or whatever, became extraordinarily special to me above and beyond other things. Myst was one of those. SimCity 2000 was another. Hey Daddy, what's up?
My ovaries hurt now.
And you want what?
Chocolate.
Here's some. Two chocolate, please. I'm sorry, but I mean, it is chocolate right there. What? You looked down on it, but it was instantaneous chocolate at your request. That's pretty good. Yes, it's regifted chocolate and not great chocolate, but it was instantaneous. You gotta see the silver lining. If I had great chocolate to offer you, I would have offered you that instead. Oh. No, I got the hot ears. I think it was the hot sauce. I'm not sure.
I don't think that gives you hot ears.
I don't know what it is.
Unless you're allergic.
I hope not. Do you think maybe all my problems have been that I have a light unidentified allergy all this time?
Could be.
That would suck. I mean, lactose intolerance crossed my mind a number of times, but I don't think that that's
You
it.
stopped drinking milk for like 2 weeks.
Yeah. And I've also drunk milk sporadically, and it hasn't been like a consistent response, but some people lose their lactose intolerance. I learned that you could get a parasite that makes you lose your lactose intolerance as well. It also makes you shit.
So it doesn't matter if you're... I don't think that's really taking it away.
Well, no, like after the parasite is gone, you may not get your lactose tolerance back. But
Wait,
like, I guess a lot of people...
lactose intolerant?
That's what I meant to say. I said
Okay.
lose your lactose intolerance, didn't I?
Yes.
I meant it makes you lactose intolerant.
That's weird.
It can be temporary, but apparently it's often permanent. I was like, that shit sucks. Because like, you wouldn't, if you had the parasite, you didn't know. You'd be making your whole situation worse if you were like me, a big milk drinker or something, or lots of dairy, and not know that you're fucking yourself up even more.
Well, pretty sure they tested your food for parasites. So.
No, yeah, no, I don't apparently have a parasite. Yes, I think it's a deer tick or whatever. Yeah, it's related to Lyme disease. You become allergic to red meat.
That would suck.
That's some real bullshit.
Well, I don't think you got a tick, so.
No, yeah. I don't know what it's. I don't know. It just kicked up. I'm just going through various stupid little maladies. And you're going through various stupid little ovaries.
They are fucking stupid.
I started my 5Bs today, and my yogis, my probies.
I looked into what happens if you get your ovaries cut out.
Yeah.
Yeah, apparently they're like, yeah, you really don't want to do that because for some reason, and nobody knows why, but like, you can get osteoporosis and heart disease. Like, it significantly raises your chances for that.
Doesn't it also kick on menopause
Oh yeah, instantaneously.
as well?
And if you take
Lovely.
hormones, it can get rid of some of the symptoms, but like you're still at risk for heart disease and osteoporosis. They're like, it doesn't do a whole lot, but like...
Horrendous.
Yeah. So, fun times. Also, I finished that chocolate.
There's another.
That one is cinnamon and I don't want it.
Oh. Yeah, I don't think I do either. Oh well. I'm sorry there was only one chocolate.
I need a cupcake.
What about that one thing you got? It's not a cupcake, but it's a...
It's a blueberry muffin. It's totally different.
Yeah. But it
No chocolate.
probably would be nice.
There's no chocolate.
I'm sorry. You could go get some chocolate. You have 3 minutes. You can throw those tights on, or whatever they are.
Do you like wearing tights?
I like you wearing tights.
They're really cute.
They are super cute.
But I need more with the footies on it.
I feel like I saw somewhere that that's I mean, I don't know if it's like you're being influenced by TikTok, possibly, like subconsciously, but I had seen somewhere, probably on Reddit, that was like a fad right now.
No, it's just
Like
not
tights
cool.
and shorts. I know, I'm just saying.
Tights and shorts.
Yeah.
It could be. I think that's like super cute.
Yeah. It's almost kind of anime-ish. I don't know why, though.
It's the same thing with like thigh highs and stuff.
Mm. Well, I mean anime-ish without that sort of weird undercurrent of fetish that it always has.
I mean, no,
Not all
still
of them.
Probably.
Well, fucking yeah, probably. It just always has that simmering.
Yeah, it does. It can switch on a dime between like, oh, this is really cute, and like, yeah, that's kind of pedophilic.
Yeah, that never
like,
went
maybe
away.
You don't need panty shots on a 6-year-old. Like, I don't.
Yeah, my entire span of watching anime, that never became something that I really got used to. It always stands out really bad.
Yeah.
And that one fucking one with the whatever dragon girl, that's become such a meme.
Oh my god, yeah, with her popping out an egg. Oh,
no.
No, you're talking about the other
I'm talking about the one where 50% of her body is just tits.
Yeah, that one's actually funny though.
Yeah,
Like,
but the character's fucking ridiculous though. Like, there's no excuse for that character. Simply no excuse.
Yeah.
She looks like she's 8. And
I mean,
she looks like she has 6 legs. 2 of which aren't very usable because they're massively overweight.
It was really cute though.
I'm sure that it could be, but I would have trouble even digesting the show because there's this weird, like, there's no way to look at her that isn't like, it's just distracting because it's absurd looking. It's like if one of the characters had a third arm coming off of their forehead, you're gonna be looking at that fucking arm the whole time. You're just like, that doesn't look right.
Yeah. I do think there's a limit to how much boob you should put on a character, especially if it's animated. Because there's like unrealistic, and then there's like, that is too small human children sized. Like that's, and of course they're always still like the 0 like waist size.
Well, yeah. But I mean, that sort of thing is more like you'll see that in like American cartoons and stuff like that. Like that's not unheard of. But there's probably 0
There's still limits.
American cartoons that aren't like for adults that have any character that would ever look like that.
I mean, I think the Dragon Maid one is pretty much for adults too. Cause like.
No, I mean like porn cartoons are where you would see that in like Western animation.
Are there American porn cartoons?
I mean, yeah, presumably. I'm not deriding things that are different. Like, I understand. I've seen JoJo. I haven't watched JoJo, but I mean, I've seen what the characters look like. I've seen bits and snips and things from JoJo, and the overall thing, the whole package with JoJo, is yes, iconic and quirky.
I hate JoJo. I hate it so much. We tried. We tried to watch it.
It's it's hard to get into.
The first episode where like he kills the chick's dog or whatever.
Right.
And it's just like, wow, this is, and why?
But one of the things I've learned with JoJo is that there's like 1,000 entry points.
Yeah.
And it's extremely confusing.
All I know is that every time somebody sends me like a JoJo meme or a picture of anything, it's like, that looks not like I would like that.
We should just start watching. We should delete everything else, cancel all other services, and just start watching One Piece now, and we'll have an episode every day for the rest of our lives. We won't need to watch anything else.
You don't really like the animation. Like the character designs are just kind of weird.
It's such a fucking, like, just looking at One Piece and being like, well, I missed that boat and the ancestors of that boat, and like it's like, ah, dang, I just missed the Titanic.
Yeah.
It just left 100 years ago. Well, I'll catch the next one, I guess.
I mean, I already did my obligatory never-ending anime, and that was Inuyasha, so like I've hit my quota.
Yeah.
And we both did Naruto for a while.
Yeah.
So.
Well, I was watching Naruto when it was coming out.
Yeah, I know, but then like we got caught up to where it was.
No, I mean like way back in the day.
No, I know.
Oh. Did we rewatch?
Yes.
Oh,
yes,
yeah,
we
yeah.
did, and then we were reading the manga.
Oh, yeah.
And then.
I don't think I could watch that again.
No, me neither. I might be able to read it, but even then, probably not.
I would say the beginning bits are probably still compelling when they're just little students in school, because that's a classic. It's that sort of the arc of the chosen one or whatever, that kind of crap. It's the same thing that Dragon Ball Z did. It's the same thing that like My Hero did, and they always get to a point where you're like, nah, I'm out. I mean, for most of us. I was so surprised that happened with My Hero as well, because I thought My Hero seemed like it was on a good course. Like, it seemed like I like where this is going. They're building stuff, and then they were like, okay, so everything that we set up, we're jettisoning that out the airlock.
Well,
we're gonna wrap it all up with one movie and quit. That's not what actually happened, but that's what it feels like.
Yeah, then they went to like, okay, we're going to take this, what's essentially one episode worth of stuff, and we're going to stretch it into 3 to 4 episodes. And then we'll do this 3 times, stuff. And that's a season. It's not even like 100% filler. Like, it is stuff that's like good to see, but like they could have wrapped up those, like the last challenge thing, it was a practice challenge. Didn't have any like overall. It had one part where like he talks to like the previous generations. That was like important. Yeah. But like other than that,
basically the like latest season, it felt like it was they built so much up, and then it felt like they slammed on the brakes.
Yeah.
It lost all of its momentum. I don't know that like I'm necessarily overly compelled by shonen. It's the reason we got into My Hero wasn't because it was just a shonen. It was because it was a unique twist. It was higher quality storytelling than usual, extremely interesting character design, and then the other thing was that it didn't have as much of a...
He has a flat brain.
Well, I know, I guess that's not that different. I was going to say it wasn't as much of a chosen one, but I mean, it is...
It very much is the chosen one.
It's the... Well, I mean, literally the chosen one. Because it happens in the show. But like...
He's chosen.
Something about the way that he presented himself, but then I realized, well, that is the same as Naruto. Naruto was like the butt of the town's jokes. Like, he was the loser. Like, it's always kind of the ascendance of the loser. Every time. Dragon Ball Z is actually the different one. Where Goku's kind of... He's like an overconfident, nothing bothers him. Even from, like, if you start with Dragon Ball... As a kid, it's the same thing. It's like he's not part of... He's otherworldly.
He has audacity, is what you mean.
Not an asshole, though. He's like a pure-hearted narcissist. No, he just...
So, like, not Cowboy Bebop, the other one.
Samurai Champloo?
No.
Well, what's the other one to Cowboy Bebop? Trigun?
Yes.
Yeah.
The dude from Trigun.
Well, Trigun is like the ultimate version of that.
Yeah.
Where Vash is actually omnipotent, essentially.
He's an omnipotent egoist. That
He's like a god walking among people and being real nice. It's basically a Jesus story, and then by the time you get in, I still love Trigun.
Yeah.
It's really dated, for sure, but it's still pretty funny. Like comedic timing and stuff, and
they do their shit right.
Vash is just kind of endlessly lovable.
Yeah.
I just love his character. I wish that there was more to it, but it's really... But it's kind of one of those... It's not as, like, deep as Cowboy Bebop, but it does really...
To be honest, Cowboy Bebop was a little too deep for me. Like...
It's a little depressing. Actually, it's a lot depressing.
Yeah.
Trigun's not quite so depressing, but it has more to it than it lets on for quite a long way into it.
Yeah.
It kind of... That's another quality I like in shows, I think, where they don't quite let on. They don't show their cards. They play it like being like, haha, we're, just goofing around. But actually...
Yeah.
Shit's going down.
Everything in there kind of has, like, a murder mystery vibe, too. Because it's all, like, you think you know what's happening, but, like, you really don't. And he did everything for a reason, and it's all whatever.
Yeah. The trouble with... I would say the main trouble with watching Trigun today is it has some truly horrendous animation. At times, some really good... I would say some really good art.
Yeah.
I would not say that the animation rises to high quality for more than a couple seconds at a time throughout the whole thing. But it lives off of its really unique and good ideas, and also occasionally some really great camera angles.
Yeah.
But most of all, good comedic timing.
Yeah. It is, above all else, very funny. And actually, you brought up Samurai Champloo, which, in my opinion, is kind of like the middle between Cowboy Bebop and Trigun.
Samurai Champloo is less depressing Samurai Bebop.
Yeah, but it's like, it's still serious. They still have, like, the same thing in common with...
The two main dudes are basically, if you split Spike right down the middle into two people.
No, because neither one of them are serious enough, or not non-serious enough, or funny enough.
Yeah, they are. The one dude is absolutely goofy. The wild-haired, the dude that has Spike's hair is absolutely a goof-ass. Serious at times, but you have to drag him to seriousness. The other guy is the opposite. You have to drag him to goofiness. He falls into goofiness. He doesn't want to be a part of it, but he ends up in it, like, out of his control. He doesn't want to be there. It's absolutely Spike just split down the middle.
But, like, extremes.
Yeah.
It's like, he could never be as serious as the serious man.
You could probably say the same for Fu with, Faye and... but I don't know who she split down. She's more of a combo.
She's like Faye if Faye wasn't sexy. And, like, had that level of confidence.
So she gets shit on the same way as Faye.
Yeah. But, like...
But she's not... So Faye is, like, duplicitous and kind of not good at heart and selfish and a narcissist. Fu is also kind of a selfish narcissist, but pure-hearted.
Yeah.
She's trying to do the good thing. I mean, her whole mission is...
to find her dad.
Yeah. So she's kind of the Faye, but, like, she's good Faye.
She's like if Faye had a daughter with, like, a psychologist. That would be Fu.
Okay.
Like, she's had some gentleness
also
in her
Fu
upbringing.
and Faye.
Yeah.
It's like yin and yang.
She's had some gentleness
yin and
in her
yang.
upbringing. And, like, you can tell that, like, she cares, but, like, She obviously knows, like, women's stereotypes and tries to adhere to that, even though it doesn't work because she's built like a child.
Ergo Proxy.
Oh, we watched that.
We watched that, but I guess it didn't make much of an impression because I cannot remember a single fucking thing.
It's like a post-apocalyptic one, if I remember correctly. I actually think that we have the DVD of it.
Yeah, no, we do.
Cool. The animation was really good. The story, I don't remember a whole lot about.
Yeah, I just can't remember a single thing from it.
Yeah, it wasn't very long.
Yeah, we really dove into this, didn't we? There's like multiple conversations interweaving there. You're not going to be able to make sense out of any of that shit. They're talking about dinos wearing dresses.
Yeah, I know. That's why I wanted to...
Well, all I was trying to say with shonen is I think that there's a inherent... There's almost like a baseline compelling nature to them, just because I think that it's satisfying to watch someone overcome and succeed from like extreme
my favorite shonen
disadvantage.
Was Yuri on Ice.
Yuri on Ice is amazing.
Yeah.
I'm not sure it's a shonen.
I mean, it's a sports anime.
It's a
like that one was very well done.
I wonder if that fucking movie ever came out.
Probably. You should check up on that. So I'd like to see it.
Yeah. Oh yeah, they are doing a season 2, right? Yeah, God, I want that. We instantly fell in love with that one.
Yeah. It's just the perfect amount of like. Except that I really wish they would have done better animations for some of the skating, but.
Well, no, the thing is you usually know they're the chosen one from the beginning, every fucking time. Like Naruto,
oh, yeah. It's like the first character that they zoom in on.
Right, like I remember my first time watching Naruto when it got to that episode. What happened? They were like on a dock or something. Something happened to Emo Boy. Forget his name.
Sasuke?
Sasuke, yeah. So they were fighting somebody. They always have to keep bringing out a slightly more powerful
bad person
antagonist, yeah. And Sasuke was fighting him, and like the whole lead up to that, Sasuke was always presented as like he's always better. But then he failed to really hold off the antagonist, and then Naruto has his sort of
goofy way of dealing with it.
No.
It works.
I'm talking about the moment when he loses control.
Oh.
And that, there's something so satisfying when there's all this build up, and then they let loose the explosion. And My Hero had that too. My Hero had the tournament. Yeah. When he blows away the ice or whatever, like the things where like people are like, holy shit, he almost destroyed the whole fucking place, and all he did was like building into that. It is satisfying when you get those payoffs, but the problem is like keeping the momentum going on that. It starts to get repetitive because you can't just keep doing that. But what makes me ever come back to them are the little twists. Like with Naruto, the thing that was really compelling was that it was this thing that he was hated because everybody knew that he was dangerous. So that was the unique twist to Naruto, is that everyone regarded him as dangerous because they knew what was contained in him. Yeah. And it was intentionally contained in him as a prison. So like that's an interesting twist, and then it makes you wonder about how things are going to go.
Yeah, the other one that went on for a very long time and ended up being disappointing is 7 Deadly Sins, which started off so fucking good. Like the first season was chef's kiss. Yeah. And then after the first season started, we went to the manga, and then it was just like his power level's over 9,000.
Yeah,
and it's like,
as soon as they rolled out the numbers,
yeah,
I was out.
And like it ended up, they put way too much into that and not enough into the character building.
That was so
just got weird.
That was such a situation of like they didn't know what was good about what they had.
Yeah.
Because what brought me into Seven Deadly Sins was its amazing world.
Yeah.
And the variety and just extremely interesting characters. That's what was compelling to me, was the creatures, the characters, the environment. It felt old and futuristic at the same time. It had that certain je ne sais quoi that, like, it's kind of like Final Fantasy IX, where Final Fantasy IX harkened back to the old days of Final Fantasy, but also modernized it, so it was like extra compelling. Like, I loved seeing the like old style Black Mage in Vivi.
Yeah.
But it didn't feel old. It just had that vintage look about it, and that's the way Seven Deadly Sins was, but not just in its look, but in its development of its world too.
Yeah, and the pig.
Yeah, the pig's great.
Yeah.
Yeah, just good ideas, and they threw it all away so they could say that this so-and-so is like 989 strongs. Like, I don't care. Yeah. Get out of here. I don't want to ride this ride that leads to, oh my god, he's 1 million strongs. What will we do? And then they overcome the number. Like, I did that with Dragon Ball. I'm not going back.
Yeah.
I refuse to go back. Yeah, that's why his power level's over 9,000 is a fucking meme. Well, actually, that's a meme because of the goddamn voice actor.
I mean, it's both. But
I still haven't, but I almost want to watch just the Frisia saga.
I mean,
but
I haven't watched any Dragon Ball because it wasn't really.
Well, you have to understand that like the Frisia saga of Dragon Ball Z for me is sort of, it gets a little bit of a pass because of the fact that that was my entry point into anime originally. Watching that on Toonami, and it was exciting at the time. But after the Frisia saga, I was like, so this is basically this always. Because by the end of the Frisia saga, you already got like 10 filler episodes where people are just screaming for the, like, just Goku shitting his pants for a whole episode and does nothing. Like, that's... Ugh.
I actually watched one episode of Dragon Ball Z, and I was at a friend's house. No, I think we watched 2. And, like, I did experience that firsthand, where, like, there's just one person charging the entire time.
I'm telling you.
And then it's just, like, jumping right. It's like, how have we been here for an hour?
It's like, not always like that. That's all I can say. It's unfortunate they are in there, and, I mean, I hated it, too. There's nothing worse than watching a whole fucking episode where they're basically going, something's about to happen! It's about to happen! Oh, here it comes! Yeah. Next time on Dragon Ball Z. Like, fuck off, man. Just do the thing. Do the thing that you're building up to by now. Jesus Christ. This whole episode was worthless. You can cut this out. Skip this one, and the story will still make sense.
The 40 minutes was them explaining what could happen if something did happen that isn't going to happen because the thing is going to work.
Yeah.
So, like...
Oh, God. And I just thought about Season 1 One Punch Man versus Season 2 One Punch Man.
Yeah.
Ugh.
I mean, there wasn't any charging, but yes, there was a lot of, like, can you stick with one fight? Like, do we have to go into 4 different directions? Because I kind of like to know what happens, but, like, you space this all out so you get no conclusions.
It's more so that, like, well, the studio change was bumpy, for one thing, you know, because there's just so much about it that was just different. But additionally, the beats were just all off, I guess. Because the first season kind of revolves around, what's his name? I never remember his actual name. And the word that comes to mind that's kind of funny and is obviously wrong is hummus. I don't know why. That's clearly not his name. But, like, the comedic timing and and everything about the first season is just right on point. Like
Yeah.
you can feel it. It's like they're Saitama. Thank you. That's so fucking far from hummus. Why did my brain go hummus?
I don't know. I'm for it though.
Yeah. It almost feels like they're like ribbing you while you're watching an episode. They're like, it's funny.
Yeah.
Like it almost like the whole thing is like an inside joke. But then season 2, Saitama just feels like he's there because he has to be. Like, can a cartoon character phone it in?
He did. Yeah, he did. For
That's
a lot
what it feels
of
like. It feels like Saitama phoned it in, and so you're seeing all these sort of side characters, but they're not interesting enough.
Yeah. Also, I want to keep talking, but I'm hot and cold at the same time.
No, yeah. I ought to play a game.
And my ovaries still hurt.
It's all good. Well, yeah, I mean, the point of his character is sort of that he's just phoning it in all the time. But in the first season, it works because it works with that, from a comedic standpoint. Whereas the second season, it felt like, I mean, obviously you can't do that forever. It's not going to work forever. But it felt like what they did. And I mean, I think I've heard that it doesn't really diverge from the comics. So maybe the comic just kind of lost the thread. But it just felt like, we know this doesn't work, but we've got nothing. It's like somebody showed up and they had an amazing comedy set, and then they got invited back and didn't bother to write anything. Like they were just making it up on stage or something. Yeah, I loved the way season 1 played with those concepts, because like the whole point of Gino or Genos is he is super powerful, but it reminds me of Invincible, actually, because Invincible is basically playing with that same exact concept. But very specifically, Genos overlaps with it extremely well, because basically Genos gets the consequences of what ought to happen to anybody else other than Saitama. Get fucking basically punched in half. And Invincible is that same sort of thing. It kind of takes that whole idea of super people and goes, well, what if though? That, because it's this funny thing. I mean, other comics and media have played with it. It's not like nobody's messed with it before. But when you read comics that involve like super persons or super creatures or whatever, there's this sort of thing that's most of the time unspoken, just kind of hanging in the background of that there's never any real consequences. Nobody really gets hurt in a way that matters. They'll get hurt in a way that moves the plot along sometimes, but for the most part, everybody's kind of invincible. So, and you just kind of subconsciously recognize it, but you're not actively paying attention to it most of the time. It's part of the old suspension of disbelief. Yeah, Speed of Sound Sonic is really great. I love the little archetypes contained in each of the side characters in the first season of One Punch Man. Like, I love what's the fucking guy's name? I think it's a reference to something ye old anime. At least it seems familiar to me. But the bike guy, what's his fucking name? It's like something racer. I love him. because yeah, is it Moomin Rider? He's fucking great. But the whole build of his character is he is the most heroic, the most pure-hearted of everyone, and he is the weakest of everyone. But he keeps going. He's just a regular person on a bike. I think that the vibe I kind of got was like Saitama feels sorry for him, but it's not clear. I think it's either that he likes him or feels sorry for him. I'm not sure which it is, really. And don't get me wrong, that's like a really easy... When your whole approach is like, I'm going to invert everything, it's probably not hard to come up with that idea, but it's all in the execution, you know? And One Punch Man just really kind of... It's like it just keeps hitting home runs back to back to back. And I think that it's just... I mean, it's probably not that Season 2 is so bad. It's just that Season 1 is so perfect that, like... I think it would have been hard for any studio to follow. Even if the same studio stayed on the show, it would have been hard to follow that. The bar was just infinitely fucking high. Well, Saitama is the ultimate depressed superhero. That's what makes him so perfect. That's why he's the best, you know, archetype inversion or whatever out of everything, because it's so fucking just hilarious that he's too strong. He's just so strong he's bored. Well, yeah, I mean, Mob Psycho comes from the same brain, and Mob Psycho I love because there's just like an earnestness to it. It's similar in that, like, Mob is clearly like beyond everybody in a way that he doesn't realize, blah blah blah, but he's not selfish or narcissistic, or but he's not perfect. He's just sort of a normal kid. And it just has a really earnest feeling to it that I enjoy a lot. Gino's is that friend who does incredible stuff, but whenever they fail, they're like, "Oh, I'm awful. It's all over. I can't compete." Like, dude, you're amazing. You just have to fail and then try again. Because Gino's, the whole thing with Gino's is he's obviously insanely strong. It's just, he's not, he didn't do enough push-ups, you know? I love Saitama's backstory of just fucking, he just did regular exercise. And the additional thing of that he lost his hair because of it is also just, like, it's needless, but it's perfect. God, I want to watch that again now. Fuck. I've already watched, I don't know. I mean, this won't sound insane, because I'm sure many others have rewatched many more times than this, but I think I've already rewatched Mob and One Punch Man all the way through, like, 3 times each. I happily will do either again. Yeah, I have no doubt. I'm certainly not bragging. I'm not trying to impress you. Well, that was a fucking tangent and a half, huh? I don't even remember how the fuck we got on to anime. Yeah, what is a Dino crisis? Was this a Dino crisis? Did we just have a Dino crisis? Oh, yeah, because Nakomi was dressed like an anime. I wonder if we'll have audio problems tonight. I think Grid and I both kind of concluded that it might be that OBS needed a restart, or maybe the whole machine just needed a restart, because it was just sort of so out of the blue, and also didn't make sense because the preview was not wrong. So whatever was happening was in the encoding, like between OBS and Twitch, something was going wrong. It does sort of smack of like that shit that OBS sometimes pulls where like it'll just go completely stupid in the background and there's nothing you can do about it.
He has a flat brain.
Dino, thank you for that gift sub. Mope, thank you for 34 months. Elbow sub, thank you for 23 months. Chris of Awesome, thank you for 29 months. Sorry I was so delayed getting to those. I was lost in conversation. Let's see if it's okay. The first one wasn't a real press. The second one was... Okay, this is not going to be a good test if I can't press buttons right. Oh, it doesn't go down anymore. This is not working great. This is not a good screen for this. Up. Up. Down. Down. It's all good. You see, and I've got the noise, the VST plugins on again on my mic in the retro. So I really don't think that's it. I think it's just that OBS... I feel like I've tried so hard to get away from having to seemingly unnecessarily restart my stream PC, because it's like, what was the point of setting everything up and getting specific hardware to just be dedicated to doing this? And then to restart the fucker every goddamn day. Tasty cakes. I don't think I've heard of tasty cakes. What be these? What be those? Nah, I'm all about uptime beer. Uptime. I mean, what are we talking here? Like, cents? Were you always here? Oh, I went the other way. I'm remembering. I think there is a door at the other end that I can't... Yeah, I can't get through it because I don't have both of the things. So I need to go in the vent. Well, that's not even a dangerous new dino. That's just a regular fucking raptor. But... Well, for anybody who wasn't here at the end of the last stream, I'll just keep my mouth shut. Well, look. I have expensive power. Less expensive than Phoenix by a lot. But expensive nevertheless. And even with expensive power, we're talking about fractions of cents. To where it just doesn't feel worth it. To me. But if you're doing every... It's one of those things where it's kind of all or nothing, I feel. When you're shaving cents off. Where it doesn't feel worth your efforts unless it's like all of your efforts. If that makes sense. I don't know the exact amount right off the top of my head. It's been a little while since I looked.
He has a flat brain.
Cone! What's up, dude? Thank you for 40 months, man. No, I didn't mean... What I meant by all in is not just saving electricity. Like... penny pinching across the board. Because then, yeah, it really adds the fuck up. Sorry, I had to mash buttons. Oh, good. They can still sleep. Okay. I was worried. Because this raptor is clearly different. I wish when you had them knocked out that you could actually, like, walk up to them and... Oh god. Get some information. About them, like some sort of comment. Well, right, yeah. Yeah, exactly. That is what I'm saying. Shit. One thing I'm finding interesting about, or I have found interesting about the weaponry in this game compared to Resident Evil is that there is no reload.
Gale!
Yeah. Well, at least Kirk's running out of places to hide.
Which is, I would imagine, an intentional choice with, that was a weird little, very unnecessary feeling cutscene. He's still looking for Captain Kirk, I guess. You can't find him, but he's running out of places to hide. That's the update. He absolutely will not. He stopped existing when the camera was no longer pointing at him. He has never done anything to help us. Unless it was part of the cutscene. But yeah, since they were trying to make a panic horror, I think that's why there's no reload management. But because this is so Resident Evil-like, I keep expecting to need to reload. But I never do. Yes, but in a cutscene. If it doesn't happen in the cutscene, it's not happening. Will you read it? Yes. The kid pointed out the mistake in my calculations of the estimated value. The simulation of the stabilizer, I mean. It seems that I miscalculated the timing of the energy reaction at its critical point by 6 nanoseconds. I admitted that I made a mistake, but he has a serious attitude problem. He doesn't seem to understand we're all exhausted from having to work all day and night on a regular basis. Written by M. To M. Everyone feels the same way about Kirk as you do. It's time to let him know how we feel. I heard that you could create a lethal poison by mixing certain drugs together. They said you, in Minecraft, they said you just have to mix the strongest anesthetic with something else. Well, that may be going a bit too far, I suppose. Written by Kirk himself. 2K. You are pathetic. Can't you see Dr. Kirk devotes himself to the experiment without a care of anything else? Blaming others for your mistakes only exemplifies your cowardice. What is this? A fucking forum? I hold all of you responsible should the experiment go wrong thanks to your blundering. Maybe you should be the one watching your back in case someone should accidentally inject you
He
with
has
poison.
a flat brain.
Written by Unknown. Written by Anon. You forgot to switch accounts. When you think you're replying with your alt. Dino, thank you for the gift sub again. Oh, man. God, Beer, that makes me want someone to go in and rewrite all the memos in this game. Or at least this one. Just add one more thing. There's a drawing of a coat on this wall. You know, we haven't done a ton of PlayStation 1 on this stream. In the whole span of doing retro, a notice is posted. Be sure to make the bet after using it. But I find the PS1 aesthetic so charming. And it's weird. I don't know how to explain it, but it's so different from the N64 aesthetic, even though they were contemporary devices. Which I think is to do with... hold on a second. I think the N64 was a little bit more powerful in some ways than the PlayStation 1, right? Oh yeah, I follow the Twitter. I'm there every step of the way. It's amazing. It looks great. It looks very authentic. Yeah, N64 did. I mean, they were obviously contemporary. The N64 wasn't like massively more powerful. It was more powerful in some ways, like I said. So in terms of like polygon pushing, I'm pretty sure the N64 was more capable, but the PlayStation 1 was more capable in other areas, particularly in media. So like PlayStation 1 games tend to be big compared to N64 games. There's not really any epics on the N64 that would be much bigger than like Zelda 64 because of that cartridge limitation. And the N64 also tended to do, because again, they had to do a lot of space saving. They couldn't do 700 megabytes of textures. Well, neither could PlayStation 1 games, but you know what I mean. They didn't have a disc with so much space available. That's why the N64 doesn't generally have movies or tons and tons of textures or whatever. So they utilized a lot of gradient shaded flat faces. So there's a lot of that on the N64. But it's got its own like charming appeal. But like if you look at Mario 64, for example, there's not a lot of texture work there. Mario himself, I think the only like texture on him, it's like his eyes. I think his mustache is like a billboard. The M on his hat. But the rest is just like flat shaded poly. Whereas, you know, Dino Crisis here, the character is fully textured, the environment is fully textured, you know. I would say her arms probably are just flat shaded polygons. I don't think there's any texture on her upper arms because it's just one color, so, and you're not going to be able to see any sort of like detail on of her skin or something, so it would be worthless to do that. Some parts of her outfit might be flat shaded gray polygons. I'm not sure, but yeah, obviously the PlayStation 1 was more capable of doing that. I find each of them uniquely charming. The level A card. Okay. I don't think there's anything else in here, is there? I think I've poked around at everything. I can't get to the TV area. That's walled off. I was hoping I could turn on the stereo, but nope. DMCA, though. Okay. Let's equip something before I come back out there. We got slag bullets and SG bullets. What else have I got? One and aid. There were emergency boxes, but they're out in the hallway. I think I have like 6 or 7 plugs right now after I spent some, right? I have 7. Yeah. Let's be real. I mean, almost every retro console I encounter, I will happily say I find it charming. It's actually worthless to hear me say those words, because so many of them hold a special place in my heart. Some more than others because of my experiences, what I had access to. But even the ones that I didn't, like I never owned a PlayStation 1 because we were a Nintendo household. Feels silly to say, but we bought the Nintendo consoles because we couldn't afford every fucking console. So I never had the Sega Genesis. I didn't get the PlayStation 1. But I still have just weirdly nostalgic feelings even for those consoles anyway, because I experienced them in a different way. It's like earlier I was talking about Myst and SimCity 2000. Like they were made more enticing by my lack of access to them. If I would have had a computer at home and I could have played Myst or SimCity 2000 or whatever whenever I wanted, they would have lost that sheen. It still would have been amazing. It would have been fantastic experiences that I would cherish. But it's a different feel. You know? It's just, it hits different. They become this sought after thing, which is like a different layer, you know? It's an extra layer on top. So they became like extra special to me. And I didn't feel that way so much about the Genesis, but the PlayStation 1 I definitely did. There's a lot of me admiring PlayStation 1 running demos at the store, or like when I went to a friend's house and I saw Resident Evil 1 for the first time, and I saw the beginning and I saw the zombie FMV, and it was burned into my mind. I remember where I was, whose house I was at, what everything looked like around me, and down on that CRT in front of me, the zombie head slowly turning and looking at me. And how like scary and like I was scared but excited at the same time. And then I just never got to have one until the PlayStation 2 came out. That was when I first started getting PS1 games. They did wild fucking commercials in the 90s. Wild fucking commercials. Which one's bigger? 2 plugs. Is the green a 1 plug? I'm thinking. Taking advantage of this while I have a safe moment. Okay, so green's a 1 plug. I wonder if this would have regular handgun ammo in it. Nemesis is pretty scary. But not as scary as Mr. X, in my opinion. At least in my experience of the remakes. I still haven't got around to doing the original Nemesis on PlayStation 1. We should do that sometime. Didn't I do... Holy shit, man. We went fucking Resident Evil 2 crazy, didn't we? Didn't we do the A and B stories like back to back in the original game, and then do that again in remake? Jesus, fuck. Yeah, I don't think I finished the 4th run. It was a lot. That's farther than I tend to usually go. That just speaks to how fucking fantastic Resident Evil 2 is, though. Yeah. I completed Resident Evil 3 Remake, but I never played the PS1 original. I threatened to, but I didn't get around to it. Oh. Oh, shit. Well, here we have that poison. Hey, finally! These are my first fucking Smith & Wesson bullets. I assume that stands for. Yes, Resident Evil 2 on the N64 is actually, it's a little bit of a special item. I don't think I managed to get my hands on it. I tried buying one off of Craigslist for somebody, and I offered them market value, and they chewed me out. Blah, blah, blah. I know the value of this. Quit trying to fucking blah, 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 blah. It's like, dude, this is what people are paying for it. He wanted more than that, and so I just couldn't talk him down to what people were paying for the game. But I said earlier that the N64, I sort of asterisked it without explicitly doing so, but it's like the one N64 game that actually has a video. It has an FMV. Does it have all the FMVs from Resident Evil 2? I don't know how many there are. Is it just the intro? Might just be the intro. But it actually has it. And it's sort of it's an oddity. It's the only intro and outro. I think it was made by a company that was really interesting in that... I think it's the same company that made a legitimate port, a demo, but like a 3D port of Resident Evil 2 for, I think Game Boy Advance. Is that right? Is that the same developer that did that? I think that's maybe what got them the job. Like the Game Boy Advance thing never came out, but it was like a working, actual Resident Evil 2 on Game Boy Advance, which is like that's insane. If I'm remembering correctly. It was, whatever it was definitely mind-blowingly beyond what you would expect to be possible. I'm going to actually stow this for now. I'm going to take the additional slag bullets. Are there this many more? Oh, no, there's 10. Okay, right. Can't stack them. I can even take these. Got my resuscitation and my med packs. I'm going to sit on the remaining items here. And what do I have equipped? Nothing. So let's... God damn it. Am I ever going to get used to this menu system? Circle opens the menu and circle closes the menu. Triangle is back once you're in the menu. I know there's a dart in there. I'm saving it for later. I probably shouldn't do that though. I'm doing that thing where you never use your potions. Huh. I suppose I should tote it around for a moment when maybe it'll be like saving my life. You're right. I'll grab it. I want to equip Wait, when you switch weapons, I think you... No, you don't lose what you have equipped on it, right? Not lose, but like it becomes unequipped. But I think actually it doesn't. No, yeah, I'm good. Alright, I will grab the dart. But I'm gonna definitely try to preserve it until I know that it's gonna save my life at the very least. I think I was hitting them both. I think if I was, I think that was the first time I was doing it. Certainly the first time I noticed it. Oh, he was not dead. Get up. Get up. Oh no, let me go. That's not good. Damn, wasted a shot again. I'm always doing that. Nothing happened. I think I might be able to turn that into a poison dart. Well, no, I'm not sure now. The door is locked from the other side. Yeah, the dinosaurs are really amazingly done in this. They're obviously a bit dated, but like the way they're animated is very fucking cool. They have a quality to them that makes them seem, you know, animal-like as they should. Okay. So we got a card. We got another card. Key card level C. I think that we need to go back to where all those storage things were, where the crane was. Hey, Chris of Awesome. Yeah, there's clearly some jank and some goofiness in their animations, but I mean, this came out in the 90s. So it's actually impressive the way that they behave for the time, I think. Especially compared to some other furniture. Okay. Now... where... oh, those stairs... I think I actually want to go down the stairs that are through the raptor here. There we go. Ah, it's a compromise. That's rough. The light cover is broken. Well, I've absolutely been really enjoying this experience. It's... I love these old tank controls games.
Regina, I fixed it.
Finally.
You can open the shutters now.
Well, I guess we'll forge ahead for now. Now we don't have A. There's more emergency boxes down this way. You got the plug. So I'm gonna mosey on back. We need to go to the area C. I know they're doing Zomboid, but they're doing like hardcore Zomboid. I asked about this. I was like, are you doing like lighter settings that are better for streaming or whatever? But that is not what they're doing. And I just don't... I'd have to quit my job to join them. So that's why I'm not playing Zomboid. Sucks to say. So, do I have anything that does anything for any of this? Okay, so I don't have a card that operates that. And this, I still don't have one of the discs. Yeah. Alright, so. Onward! Stomp an ass, motherfucker. Oops. This is okay. We're fine. That's gonna be a no from me, dog. Jesus. Get up, get up, get up, get up. No! My resuscitation. God. Zomboid is beyond 7 days. Zomboid is insane. But yeah, I would love to have gotten in on that, but I just simply don't have time. If I were going to do it, it would have to be every single stream for the entirety of them, and for a long time. I don't think either of those hit it. Or it doesn't make a sound when it gets hit, which is awful. Fuck me. Oh. Fuck! Fuck! Lordy. God, that one there was close to already making me possibly need to use the poison dart up. But yeah, back to PlayStation 1 and N64. It's... they also both have, like, big noticeable disadvantages, which is interesting. In the case of the PS1, I would say its biggest detriment overall is the dithering. The dithering is fucking strong on the PlayStation 1. The biggest detriment on the N64 is the goddamn anti-aliasing. That's its biggest flaw. And its controller. But the N64 did have analog joystick movement from the get-go, rather than having to release one of these later. And let's be real, you mostly were fine. You lost access to the D-pad and one of the bumpers, but you still had the Z. You had the trigger. I don't know. It's give and take. Certainly, it did not become the controller design for 3D games, but as crazy as the N64 controller is, I don't think it's the worst controller by a long stretch. That said, we have fixed this in modern times. I'm looking forward to putting this to use. Maybe, if I feel strong, maybe I'll do some try my hand at some 16-star. This is actually a wireless N64 controller. I'm hoping it's going to be like my Wavebird, basically, for the N64. Retro Fighters does baller-ass shit. I've talked about them pretty extensively before, but... like, look at this. It's blue translucent. It's got a great feel, great shape. Buttons feel fantastic. Very clicky buttons. 2 Z buttons, so you have your choice, left or right. Well, I mean, it's bluish green. It's like teal, I guess. Of course, it has a turbo button, like every third-party controller. And then this here is the wireless adapter, which probably looks huge. Or wireless dongle, I guess.
He has a flat
But that's
brain.
because this is where you put the memory card. Just right there. Boom. It's pretty fucking sick. I love the stuff they're doing. I think my favorite thing that they've done, although I've very much enjoyed pretty much all the controllers that I've got from them, but it's this puppy here. Not necessarily this specific one. These were both Christmas presents, by the way. But if there was a console that desperately needed a better controller, and there's a number of them that do, but the Dreamcast is definitely high on my list. Like, there's a lot of consoles that don't really have great libraries that have shitty controllers, but the Dreamcast has an amazing library and a pretty fucking uncomfortable controller. This thing fucking rocks. They're basically, all their controllers are essentially the same design. It's sort of it's kind of Xbox 360-ish, but like, they're godsends for retro consoles. Just godsends. And it's got dual VMU support, just like the original controllers, but just a super fucking comfortable layout. Again, way better button positions, and just way better fucking buttons in general. Particularly the Dreamcast analog stick sucks. And they managed to do a better job, because with the Dreamcast controller, the fucking cable comes straight out of the bottom, which just feels awful. At least in this case, like, the problem has always been the VMUs. They managed to do it and have the fucking wire pointed out the back of the goddamn controller. So yeah, way better job than Sega did there. Way fucking better job. All the inserts fell out. Yeah, they're well priced too. They're high quality. They're well priced. They're extremely well designed. I just love them. I love them so much. I actually, like, for the Dreamcast, I was seeking out, like, even old third-party controllers for the Dreamcast. That's how much I was, like, desperate to find something better. Just give me something better, please. And there really, I don't think there really was an ideal third-party controller. I got a bunch of, like, Mad Catz ones, but I mean, it's Mad Catz. You young millennial whippersnappers might not be familiar with that name, but us older millennial fogies, we curse that name. The millennial span feels massive. Yeah, the friend controller, the player 2 controller. Yeah, but the CDI also doesn't have anything you want to play on it. So does it really matter what kind of controller it has? That was my point. Like, I feel like the Dreamcast has one of the worst... It's controller to library ratio. That's what I'm talking about. Dreamcast has a fantastic library. That makes the controller all the worse, despite not being... It's not like the fucking Jaguar controller or the CDI controller, but it just doesn't feel good for the library that it has. You know? I have that. I have that controller. It is insane. Is this the fishing controller for the Dreamcast? The Dreamcast had some wild shit. It definitely had some wild ass shit. Sorry, ZK. I saved, right? I did. Went on a fucking tangent again. It's one of those nights. Where are those other doors at? Ah, through here. I remember. Sometimes you gotta tange. I'm gonna actually try the doors. Oh no, it's A? Oh, I thought these were C for some reason. Was there a C door that I couldn't... Yeah, we're barely fucking playing the game. That's why it's lasting so long. Shutters are sealed on the unused shelves to prevent humidity from damaging their contents. Well, wait, if they're unused, what contents? Plug. Grenade bullets. Is that seriously all that's here? So this isn't even progress. I thought we were coming back here to fucking do something of value. Oh, we got another plug. They're hitting us with everything here. Jesus Christ. So I backtracked, and now I have to fucking backtrack all the way back so that I can backtrack? Yeah, those are both A doors. Yep, can't get through that. Yep. Fucking hell. I thought y'all said we were close to... Well, I guess it's because I've been talking. But yeah, I think the I think the pinnacle of this style of game for me is still, and may always be, Resident Evil Remake. Or Remaster. Whatever it was called.
Well,
No, I think it was Remake.
Reached the system's core. These security protocols are brutal. Finally, a challenge worthy of my task.
It's so good. Every time I talk about it, I'm like, I should just play it again. Because it's so polished. It's so fantastic. Oh, fuck me. Forgot which way I was backtracking. It is extremely old, and it holds up perfectly, in my opinion. The only thing I'll say is that the PC port, which I think that's called remaster, right? It's the remaster of the remake. They didn't or weren't able to redo the videos, the video backgrounds. So I feel like those don't look great. But overall, it still looks amazing. It's just, it's diminished slightly by that. But you know me, my very much preferred way to play. And to be honest, I think the last time I actually played the PC version, right? So it's almost necessary that the next time I play, back to the CRT, baby. Right? Back to the GameCube. So fucking good. It's just one of those nights where I'm just gushing about stuff that I enjoy. Oh yeah? Gosh, when did I do it last? When did I play through it? I know I did on stream. I think might have even had played through Resident Evil Remake twice on stream altogether. Whatever one has a digital port out the back so I can do component. Any of those will be fine by me. Okay, so now, do we want to go through the event? I think no, right? Because we were over there and the card didn't do anything. Those both are my destination up there. I don't... Let's... Oh, there's doors that are cut off by lasers. Excuse me. We do want to go back there. Sorry. It really... I was like still talking, so I sort of absent-mindedly was trying to fight off the sneeze, which made it way worse. I apologize. I've told this story before, but I did have a GameCube when Resident Evil Remake came out, and I did buy Resident Evil Remake the moment it came out. And I did take a very low quality, I think, webcam video of Resident Evil Remake playing on my television to send to my friend who was also a Resident Evil freak like me. Oh, hell yeah, give me that resuscitation medicine. Just to send it to him and be like, dude, you gotta fucking see this shit. It's incredible. Dude, are we having like a zombie eating people moment? Oh, that must be compies. I was gonna say, I don't think we've encountered a dinosaur eating anybody yet. But we did. And it was compies. D. Do we have 3 different fucking... Oh, we just need to get A. Compies. Oh, no. This one's actually eating. Ah, we interrupted it. Fuck. Please let go of my head. Oh yeah, get kicked, bitch. What were you eating? Nothing. I thought there'd be a corpse here. I'm bleeding. I don't think I have anything to deal with that. I think I used my hemostats to do whatever. It's fine. I'm gonna wait it out. Design plans for various parts are shown at the center of the table. Right, well, we know we have no matching thing. Oh no, this isn't one of those. You operate the panel. Oh. Don't have the code yet. Another plug. They're being very generous with the plugs. He finished it, yeah. That's why he turned around. He was done. He was done. Various machines can be seen through the glass shield. Keycard level A is required. Fucking hell, dude. So we need a passcode. I don't know where to get it yet. We have one other door we can try, so I'm going to go to that now. Fucking hell. Also, I think I have more raptors to shoot in this room too, don't I? I've probably used up a lot of my bullets. Oh shit. Yep. Bullets do not last long in this game. No siree. Alright. Here we go. This door here. What kind of door is it? Ah, good. It's a C door. Alright. Stabilizer design room. I don't need to fight anything. Because I can't. Alright. What disc is this? Over here. Alright, we have 2 of the W. Now we just need to fucking remember where the goddamn hell that door is. Where in the Sam hell is that fucking door? Some kind of simulation is in progress on the big monitor. It's not animated though. It doesn't look like it's very much in progress. These 2 devices seem to be just models. They cannot be used. What is this? The planning disk is required to operate the device. Storage for the important parts. A subtle machine sound from the part that is controlling the device can be heard. Goodbye, my final med pack. I'll miss you forever. A file book of notice messages. Will you read it? Those who attend the activation of the generator for the first time in tonight's experiment should remember the following procedures. To activate the generator, the following 2 devices have to be set in advance. Initializer, stabilizer. The functions of the 2 devices are as follows. Initializer generates the necessary energy for the first reaction when activating the generator. Stabilizer. The third energy reaction takes in the air and generates the energy in a chain reaction. This keeps the reaction under a certain level. You will find the models of the 2 parts in the case set at the center. If you have not seen them, be sure to check and see what they look like. If you split the numbers that you use when obtaining the core parts and add 0 to each of the split numbers, they will give the pass numbers you'll need when obtaining the other 2 protective parts. Be careful when handling the pass numbers of the core parts. What? If you split the numbers that you use when obtaining the core parts and add 0 to each of the split numbers, Okay, well, we have at least access to, what is it, W door now? Or I think so. I'm trying to see if this little rectangle here is anything. I don't think it is. Like, separate from the big screen. don't have anything to fight with now. But I don't think I need to. I need to go back to the ventilation shaft. So we're good. Ha! Will you climb to the ventilation opening? I mean, she doesn't know all of that. That wasn't like her inner monologue. She was reading that. She knows as much as we do. She's also going like, split the numbers to the... What? Just like us. Okay, I hope that it's this door over here, but I don't remember. Because we've got fucking 4 DDK doors going, or 3 DDK doors, or whatever. No! This is not the one I have, right? Yeah, I've got W. That means big old backtrack, baby. Big old backtrack. Gotta backtrack. Gotta backtrack. Yeah, sure. Yes. I mean, count yourself amongst the majority, Beer. Oh, you mean like playing the game? I thought you meant like being her. I was thinking, well, I think most people in this situation, like 99% of people would have been like, nope. Goodbye. Adios. Adieu. Or just dead. I'm trying to think of where the fuck else I've even seen. I think I only know of like one other DDK door, and I think it's in that main... Oh, is there one here? There's the elevator, and then... Yeah, here's one. What are you? Yes! Oh, Lord. Okay, so this one's eliminate the rows, so... W... It might be eliminate the rows, but it might not. Or the... Well, you know. I mean, that's just... all the rows. 2, 3, 4, except for 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Is the first one intentionally empty? No. No. That would be W... T... 6, 7, 8, 9. WTC? World Trade Center? Jet beams? No, fuel. Bad the IRC. True, I guess. I mean, it can't be right, because that just leaves... It would be like WTC HCG. And all the passwords have been words so far, and that's not a word. So that leaves us with eliminating B, C, D, F, G, H, I. So it would be W, A, oh, just WASD. T, E, R, water. W. Is it water, water? A waterway. A zombie. Did they copy paste this from Resident Evil? You got the plug. Fucking hell, dude. Give me something that fucking matters. Although he's dead, he's still holding on to a transmitter in his hand. No, he's not. He's holding on to a plug. We just took it. Look at this place. What a place this is. Oh, shit.
Regina, it looks like this door leads to the port.
Anyway, here's a computer.
Take a while before I can pop this open.
That's all Rick does.
You copy, Mike? I found the key to the port, but I got a lizard riding on my tail. I'm heading to the main elevator right now. I'll meet it at the ground level. Hurry!
Holy shit, there's someone else alive.
Huh. Sounds like we're not the only ones having problems.
I'm glad you're amused. But if that guy gets eaten, we're going to have to retrieve the key from that dinosaur's stomach. You've got to save him.
Oh shit. Boy. Is this the moment? I think this is the moment, y'all. You know what moment I mean. Let's crisis!
Yes, please.
Don't let go of that intensity. Wait a second. That was the wrong door. Oh, the intensity stops. Now I just sound like extra dumb. We're too late. Ah, it's arriving. Oh, fuck! Does the poison dart work on this? Oh, no need. Now, is it just stunned, or it is completely unconscious now? However, it seems to be breathing very slowly. That's creepy, man. I like the way they did the T-Rex in this. It's been surprisingly well used. It looks a little goofy. Oh, you motherfucker. You motherfucker. Ah, you son of a bitch. Oh. Am I funny to you? it isn't. I know. I need the battery, though. Yes. No! Yes. Thank you for doing that automatically. Yay. Where is the... not here. I wonder if I got there too slow because I went the wrong direction. I wonder if it's possible that you can get there fast enough. I mean, it wouldn't make sense in terms of how they presented it, because like getting there faster shouldn't make the elevator arrive sooner, but you know, sometimes you just gotta wonder. Please install the battery. Oh, all right. Please install the battery. Oh, okay. This game being wishy-washy about, like, its demands is a little obnoxious at times, I must say. Sometimes it knows what you have and will just use it. Sometimes it's like, no! Use it! You need to use it on me. I won't do anything unless you use it on me. Okay. So... which button will you press? Which button will you press? Which button will you press? Ta-da! Hell yeah, I will. That's so cool. Hell yeah, dude. Now, somehow I feel like the T-Rex is the one that's going to be impervious to status effects. They won't let you use a one-shot on a T-Rex, right? It's just like fucking Final Fantasy. Keep giving you all these, like, oh, you just turn him to stone, just petrify him, just petrify him. Every fucking thing where it would help is immune to it. Wait. Okay, I thought it was gone for a second. I'm like, that's not something that gets to slink away unnoticed. All your base, all your base are belong to us. God. Ye old internet. By God, I remember the first time I saw all your base. It was on Flash. Dead technology. They deleted Flash. Steve Jobs deleted Flash personally from the internet. Right after Al Gore invented the internet. Excuse me, Nee, but I do believe it is we get signal. Yeah. In AD 2001, war was begun. Look, call out begets call out. That how it is. Oh my God. Cheeseburger. Fucking hell. It's weird how we collectively kind of forget these old things, and then we'll also collectively remember them and just cringe endlessly. What the hell did I even pick up? I was not paying attention. I was thinking too much about all your bays. Port card key. That's what it was. And I dance, 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 and I dance, dance, dance. Hey, I'm a kitty cat. And I dance, 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 and I dance, dance, dance. It's funny. That sort of humor is so, like... I don't even know what. It's like... teenager level at best? At a stretch? Maybe like preteen? Like, it doesn't really have any inherent comedy to it other than just being silly. There's no, like, clever wordplay or anything like that, you know what I mean? None of that shit really didn't have anything like that, though. All of it was just... God, it was all nonsense. Like, Weeble's shit is all fucking nonsense. And it was so fucking popular. I mean, I'm not trying to fucking tear him down. I also liked that shit. But I often will look back and be like, but why did I like that shit? Like, badger, 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 mushroom, mushroom. And the real big payoff was always, oh, it's a snake. Why?
Yes.
Oh, and that other fucking one. Actually, I mean, he had many that were massively popular.
What is that?
It's the third energy.
Like this in Kirk's personal lab.
I like this
could be a
music.
problem.
This vortex must be the side effect of the third energy experiment.
Ha! Whoa.
So
That was
how are we
really cool.
supposed to get around this thing?
Either we find a way or we both end up as dino droppings.
Not funny. Okay, I'll pull up any relevant data on the computer. Regina, you search around for any possible clues or leads.
Ah. Magical Trevor. Or, I don't know if this is the pinnacle, but like, look at my horse.
He
My
has a
horse is
flat
amazing. That one. Charlie the Unicorn. I'm not saying the pinnacle of all memes of that time. I was talking about Weeble stuff. Which is absolutely not Weeble. Lost my train of thought. Dino, thank you for yet another gift sub. And the Nasarima, half an hour ago, thank you for 52 months. I'm sorry. I'm not as familiar with Film Cow, or I am and I'm just not aware of it, which is probably more likely the case. Who's that other dude that's fucking prolific as hell and still makes crazy shit? It's a weird name. It's like Cyrax? The dude that does the fucking nightmare videos that like make you feel like sick and insane. Syriac? Buddy, you're early. What are you doing? You're early. Your clock is wrong. Fix your watch, bud. Okay, so this is that other save room all the way the fuck up here. Buddy! You gotta cut that out. That is rude. I'll be done soon. I'm not done now. I don't know what made you think I was done. Oh, you're on top of the controller now?
He has a flat brain.
You're too smart, buddy. You're too smart. You're so fucking adorable. Do you know that? Do you know that? You really are. Alright. Did I just save? Oh, I just came in here. I'll save here, then. Oh, not... Oh, yeah, yes. But your persistence is less adorable, okay? Because your persistence is, like, clawing me. And it's cute, like, how you touch me with your little hand, but your hand hurts me. It hurts me, bud. Ow, owie. Ouch. Ow. Owie. Thank you. Ow, ow, ow. 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 Ow, ow, ow. You really shouldn't, like, take advantage of it. But the most adorable thing in the world that a dog does is when they are concerned, when they're visibly concerned about you. Like with Chew, if I'm laying down and I make just fake distress sounds, whatever he's doing, he'll stop. He'll come and he'll climb up on me and get right on my chest, and he'll start trying to lick my face. And it's heart-wrenching. I love him. Anyway, that's it. Oh, real quick though. Aww. Damn it. I was hoping to have my molecules ripped apart like that coin. I mean, they should let you if you want. Oh well. Yeah, that's it. I will be back tomorrow. I'm not going to predict whether or not we are going to finish it or not. Maybe we'll shoot the shit for 2 hours and play 10 minutes of Dino Crisis again, or maybe we'll wrap it up. Who can say? But when we wrap that up, I don't see why we shouldn't go right on to Dino Crisis 2. Which seems like it's going to be a really fucking different game. By the way, I guess they really failed to sell the panic horror thing, because at least on the packaging of the US release, they gave up. It says, the sequel to the blockbuster survival horror game, or hit. Survival horror hit. So, yeah, they gave up on trying to call it panic horror. It doesn't say anything about panic horror on the original. It does, though, include the Resident Evil 3 Nemesis bonus disc. Anyway, thank you all very much for hanging out. I hope you enjoyed. And I will see y'all tomorrow. Have a great night.